Andy Pope is going to serve as the model today for the perfectly neutral golf grip. You always start the grip with your left hand. So Andy is going to place his left hand on the golf club with the club largely down in his fingers. You can see the club is running from under the heel pad in his left hand down through his fingers, kind of on a diagonal. As he continues his grip, you can see he works to get this heel pad above the top of the grip. That's the key to controlling the golf club, because you need to be able to hinge this thing up and down just like you were swinging a hammer. So Andy's got the club snugly tucked under the heel pad in his left hand, and he's got his thumb running right down the shaft or even slightly right of center. That is a very, very neutral left hand position. So as he gets hold of the club here, you can see he's got solid control, and he can hinge that thing straight up and down, just like he was hammering a nail into a piece of wood. He's got control because the pressure is absorbed by this heel pad as he lifts. Also, it's controlled by that the bottom of that left finger, that left index finger. So we're going to go to the other angle here, and you can see he tucks the bottom of his fingers to the back of the golf club. He's got the club largely in those fingers, and he wraps his thumb over, making sure he gets that heel pad on top, and you can see there's a V formed between his index finger and thumb on his left hand. That V is pointing somewhere up towards his zipper. So that is a very, very neutral left-hand position. He's got the ability to hinge this thing up and down, and he has total control. Now we're going to watch him put his right hand on and see how that varies from the left-hand grip. His right-hand grip is going to be almost entirely in his fingers. So as he slowly puts his right hand on the golf club, he uses an interlocking grip. So what he does here is he lifts up the index finger of his left hand, as you can see right here. He creates space between that index finger and his ring finger on his left hand, and then he slides his pinky finger right in between that slot, and then cinches it shut. Now, it's important to pay attention to where he's gripping this in his right hand. You can see that club is down in his fingers. I mean, his palm is completely up off of the golf club. So he forms, you can see here also, he forms more or less a gun with his right hand. You can see here there is a gun pointing down towards the golf ball. Let me draw that better. There's a gun pointing right down towards the golf ball. That is ideal. That is your perfect gun position. And then to wrap his hands around the club, all he does is he squeezes the trigger of the gun with his right hand. So you can watch as he wraps his fingers around the club. That's all he did. He just squeezed the trigger a little bit. So he's got another V formed here between his index finger and his thumb, and that is also pointing up towards his zipper. The line was a little fuzzy, but it's pointing up towards his zipper. That is matching his left-hand grip, and both of his hands are pointed in the same direction, very neutral, very much set up to hit a straight golf shot. This ball should not draw or cut. It should go pretty straight. And pay attention to the fact that he has sewn this together. He's got a little bit of pressure right there, sewing that part of his hand together. That actually helps keep the club in your fingers a little bit. We're going to take a look at his right-hand grip from another angle so you can really get a sense of how much it's in his fingers. As his right hand comes onto the golf club here, you can see, boom, that thing is down in his fingers, and he's creating that gun. So he's got hold of the gun, and also I want you to look at the gap created right here in his hand. When he starts to squeeze his right hand on top of the golf club, a gap is created. That gap is the perfect housing spot for his left thumb. So he wraps his hand around, keeping the grip in his fingers with his right hand, and houses that left thumb right in that little groove created. Boom. And now he's got total control of the golf club. He can create speed with his right hand with the club in his fingers, and he's got control with his neutral left hand grip.